Hi, my name's Haley. Welcome to my new video and welcome to my YouTube channel if you haven't been here before. If you don't know who I am, my name's Haley Zell. I'm a up-and-coming musician, singer, songwriter, pianist, etc., etc. And for those of you who don't know, I just released my debut single. It's called Wanting You, and it's available on all the platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, everything. It's everywhere. There'll be a link for that in the description. But for now, why are we here? Well, in my last vinyl haul video, I mentioned that I'm a pretty frequent shopper of vinyl when it comes to, whenever I travel, I like to find a record store. And I've gone to 2 different places for some mini vacations. And that means I found 2 different record stores. So we're going to start with the first one I did chronologically, which is I went to North Carolina to see some of my family, and while I was there, I went to Kitty Hawk and Kill Devil Hills, which they're in the Outer Banks of North Carolina. And that was a great trip, by the way. Just really great historical information out there. And really a very nice record store. This record store was called the Beach Music Store, I believe, or Beach Music Shop is one or the other. I have it, I'll put it in the description like I did last time. But let me show you I'll show you everything I got there. So we'll start pretty strong here. We got Aerosmith Rocks. For those who aren't familiar with it, this is the one with Back in the Saddle. And that's pretty much the one that I know, because it's a pretty infamous song. If you've heard it before, you kind of know what I'm talking about. But I look forward to that. I only have a couple Aerosmith albums, so I was happy to be able to add some more to my collection. This I was very pleased to find, Genesis. Now I don't know which one this is. I think it's just self-titled, but this of course was Phil Collins' Genesis, so this is a little bit later on in the progression. We got rid of the first lead singer, whose name currently slips my mind, and no, that's embarrassing. Well, this is more my era of Genesis anyway, specifically this album, because it has That's All. You can see the fun different shapes, and there's That's All. But I think this one's a very interesting art, if nothing else, and I really like that song, so I'm interested to see what else is kind of on there that I haven't heard before. This I kind of picked up as a joke to myself, but it's the Greg Kihn Rock and Roll Band, and this is the one that has probably Greg Kihn's most popular song. He really had 2 songs. He had I think it was just called Jeopardy, Our Love's in Jeopardy, which was also parodied by Weird Al, and where he made it about the game show Jeopardy. But the other one is the one that's on here, and that's the breakup song, also known as They Don't Write 'Em, which is they don't write 'em like that anymore, that song, which used to come on every day I was in 10th grade on the radio. Just every day when I was going to school, it's just that same song, which is kind of points out the issues of major radio stations, but we're not going to get into that right now. I'm very funny to myself. I don't know if other people find me funny, but I'm very funny to me. This one I was excited to see, especially for a pretty good price. They had a sticker system. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I think this one was about $15, $20 maybe. But Bat Out of Hell, Meatloaf. This is Bat Out of Hell, the first one, not Bat Out of Hell 36 or whatever. After a while, Meatloaf just started naming all of his albums Bat Out of Hell. But this one's a really big one. Wow, I actually know all the songs on this one. That's I didn't actually check. It was Bat Out of Hell, You Took the Words Right Out of My Mouth, which is the one that has the weird sort of monologue at the beginning about a werewolf or something. I don't know. Heaven Can Wait, All Revved Up with No Place to Go, 2 Out of 3 Ain't Bad, which I literally just sang. I sang that 2 days ago. Paradise by a Dashboard Light. I sang that 2 days ago too. It was not that one didn't go as well. That one was interesting. And for crying out loud, which is kind of how I felt about singing Paradise by a Dashboard Light. But obviously, very classic album. Beautiful art, actually, too. And not a lot of wear on this. We have, like, the sort of classic wear that you get from just the album being in the sleeve. But overall, this is in really good condition. And that was one of the things I noticed about the records at that store, at the Beach Music store, was that the covers were in really, really good condition. And a lot of these have the original sleeve, which is something I like to see, because I really like reading the liner notes, because if I wasn't a nerd already by just virtue of collecting hundreds and hundreds of vinyl records, I had to, of course, read the liner notes too. But our next entry, I got an REO Speedwagon album. Frankly, I don't know which one this is. Good Trouble, it says. Now, this one, I don't know any songs on this album, I'll be frank with you. But it's REO Speedwagon, and I've been wanting to kind of expand that part of my collection and that part of my music knowledge, because I am going to see them actually this Sunday. My concept of time is really off. But yeah, so I'm going to see them this Sunday, so I really wanted to kind of, jam all that information into my head, right before the concert. I study for concerts like tests. It's kind of embarrassing. But I like to be prepared. There's a lot of weight on you when you're a younger audience member at these, like, classic rock shows. So this one I was excited to see in person. This is Jefferson Starship, Freedom at Point Zero. Yes, okay, I had to make sure I read that right. I got this solely because it has one song on it that I really like called Jane. A friend of mine recommended that song to me for me to sing it, and I have sung it a couple times. I really, really like it. It's a good song. And so I was curious to see what else was on that album, since I liked that song so much. And also something interesting here that I just noticed was we have stamped here, I don't know how well you can see it, it says "Not for Sale Demonstration." So that's really cool. I hadn't even noticed that yet. So very cool, very cool. I like getting sort of, every now and then, like, you'll just stumble upon these albums that it's like belong to not record companies, radio stations, and they, like, a lot of them, I think I have a couple of them in here, I think later, but they'll be notched in the corner, and I think most of the time that either, I've found conflicting results. It either meant that they were on sale, or that they belonged to a record company. Not a record company, I keep on saying record company, a radio station. So there's one of those two. It could be neither. I could have just done some faulty research. I don't know. But so I'd like to find records that are a little bit more special than the other ones. So it's very interesting, and they're not hard to find either. You just kind of stumble across them, as evidenced by the last one. This one I was excited to see. This is another Boston album. I think I had a Boston album in my last haul too. Yes, I did. So last time I had Boston Third Stage. This, I think, is just Boston 2 or something. What is it called? Oh no, this is Don't Look Back. I knew the song was on the album. I didn't realize that was the name of the album too. But yes, we got really that classic Boston logo. It's actually a guitar, if you haven't noticed it before. A lot of people think, especially when they see the Boston self-titled, they think it's like spaceships, and it's supposed to look kind of like spaceships. Some people say they look like jellyfish, which I find to be interesting, but no, they're guitars, and it's, I don't know, it's a very weird design, but it works. I mean, who am I to judge Boston, of all people, Okay. I was able to pick up another Ted Nugent album. I believe this one's Stranglehold or just self-titled. I think this is the one with Stranglehold on it, though. Not entirely certain. Yeah, I was correct. It's also a song called Where Have You Been All My Life? And then right after that, a song called You Make Me Feel Right at Home. The softer side of Ted Nugent. I'm sure they're very raunchy or something. I picked up another James Taylor album. This one, Walking Man. Has Walking Man on it, and let's see. Nothing else I know, actually, which is very exciting for me. I like sort of seeing what else there is, especially when I've been getting into him. I saw him in concert in November. Yes, in November, and he put on a wonderful show, so I've been very excited to kind of find out what else there is, just what else is there, what in the world can be out there. I feel like I should have put this one before the last one because we have another Ted Nugent. This is Weekend Warriors. This is in exquisite condition. Once again, we got a little top wear, but it doesn't really look like any bottom wear. And of course, we got that Ted Nugent, the smolder. I don't really know what's up with the soul patch. I guess it was a look. I'd seen this photo before getting this album, and something about it is so funny to me. I mean, also, I'm not going to complain about it. It's not a bad photo at all. But let's change subjects. Beautiful, beautiful Steely Dan. One of my favorite bands. It's one of my top 3 favorite bands, as I mentioned in the last video. So I was very, very excited to find Countdown to Ecstasy. This is the one, yes, my old school Bodhisattva, Your Gold Teeth, Showbiz Kids. Yeah, very exciting. And I'd seen the back cover photo I'd seen before. I didn't realize it was for the back cover. I hadn't realized that. Steely Dan is one of the ones that is really fun to read their, the people who were on the album, because they use so many studio musicians that it's just really, you don't know who you're going to find, Skunk Baxter, for one. I'm surprised to see that Michael McDonald was not on this one, so this one must have been kind of before he was introduced to to Steely Dan, probably through the Doobie Brothers. I don't really know how that worked out. And then this is the last album that I got from Beach Music. This was actually, they gave this to me for free, because I guess I was buying so much. This is a Fleetwood Mac album. It's called Penguin. It was very interesting because actually on the plane ride home, I was reading, it's somewhere over there, a magazine. It was just all about Fleetwood Mac, and I read about this album. I just didn't realize that I had just picked this up. And they had included this big photo, see if we can get it, there we go, in the magazine. So it was kind of interesting to be able to see that. This was Fleetwood Mac, but before Stevie and Lindsay had joined the band. So this is still kind of a bit earlier Fleetwood Mac there, so that was interesting. So that was all from the Beach Music Store in Kill Devil Hills. It's a tongue twister. So that was a very successful thing. They had pretty good prices. Comparatively, no one has beat my spot that I like to go to in St. Augustine. But, they might also, they're a pretty small store, so I don't really know how this works. I'm not in charge of supply and demand. But so far, St. Augustine's has the best. But these 2 stores today that I'm kind of reviewing, doing my little haul here, they were pretty good. They were pretty good. The store that I went to, I literally just went to it on Friday. No concept of time. They were in Naples, Florida. They were called the House of Hi Fidelity, which I thought was a cute name, because they didn't just sell vinyl, they sold record players and TVs and sound systems. It was all very kind of, it felt somehow both very new age and both like I was in 2005 and 1985 at the same time. It was a very odd combination of things. It's sort of almost like if you were to walk into a Blockbuster, I think. But it was a very nice place. There was a very nice woman working behind the desk. I assume she was the owner, just sort of based on her general vibe. I liked her. She was nice though. But, so, very odd collection here, but I'm very pleased with it. First we start off with Arthur, the album. This is the soundtrack for the movie Arthur, and I swear to you I only got this because of Arthur's Theme by Christopher Cross. It's one of my mom's favorite songs. It's one of my favorite songs. And I really don't know if I know anything else off of this album. I pretty much am only concerned about the Christopher Cross song. I was very excited to see it. Also, it was just, after seeing it, seeing the album cover on my Spotify so often, it was just cool to sort of see it in person. It's like, oh, it's real, you know. This one is even weirder. It's Jesus Christ Superstar, which I've never actually listened to. I've heard parts of it when they were doing the live streams of the, like the full Broadway shows, maybe a year ago. I think it was in 2020. I have no concept of time, as previously discussed. But the reason I got this, it came with the little booklet, which, I mean, when you break it down, it is just pretty much the lyrics, but I was very excited about the fact that it, you know, existed and was in such good condition. It has, like, the whole, like, orchestra and everything, so it was just very, very exciting. Also, this cover feels like leather. I know it's not, but it's not, it doesn't feel like cardboard. And the other reason I got this was because Jesus Christ is played by Ian Gillan. And Ian Gillan was the lead singer of Deep Purple, I think, for a while. I could be wrong. If I was wrong, editor me will correct me right now. But, so I was very excited about that. Also, Judas is played by Murray Head, who was the One Night in Bangkok guy. So that's kind of weird. But I was just excited about this. That sort of lineup, that cast was very intriguing to me. But moving on. This is called Lights Out. It's by a band called UFO, which I've never actually listened to UFO, but I used to watch this show called That Metal Show. And the host, Eddie Trunk, UFO was like his favorite band, or at least one of his favorite bands. He was always talking about UFO. So I saw it and I was like, why not? You know, I'll check it out, because I watched that show like religiously. I remember Styx was on an episode. Well, it was just Tommy Shaw and James Young, but you know, Styx was on the show. It's just two members, but it's two main members. We're not going to get into that, but very good show. I was very excited when the guys were on that, and they always had really good musicians. I remember Lita Ford, her episode I really liked. Whatever. So UFO. That's why I did that. Poco. I picked up another Poco. Once again, I'm always excited to see just kind of what's going on. Jim Messina, Loggins and Messina, and Timothy B. Schmidt looking like an actual infant. That's hilarious. Timothy B. Schmidt there. Later going into the Eagles, of course. This is Hall & Oates, No Goodbyes, with She's Gone on it, and John Claudner. That's why you gotta read the notes. Everyone's on everything all the time. It's weird. Now, these are two albums that are also kind of linked to that sort of troubadour early 70s part of music history. They got John David Souther, what I presume is his debut album. And no, I don't know any songs off of this at all. Yeah, just had to double check that. But I do know who he is. He was on a song with James Taylor. It was called Her Town 2. I just like short-circuited. That's one of my favorite songs, and of course I couldn't remember it. And it was just beautiful song. He wrote a lot of stuff for the Eagles, and so of course that means I got two albums. I saw both of them, and I was very excited. This is a little bit later, as you can tell, because he looks a little bit less like an angsty art student. I don't know anything off this album either, but once again, that's just exciting. You get to see, you know, what was he doing in his solo career when he wasn't helping the Eagles write, like, the next big number one, you know, hit. One hit wonders. We're looking at Quarter Flash. This is the album with pretty much their one song on it. It's called Heart in My Heart. This this was a really good song. I haven't heard the rest of the album yet. This is a theme. It's a theme. But you know how I just mentioned Timothy B. Schmidt on the Poco album? Yeah, apparently he was also on this album, and so was Mike Porcaro, who was in Toto. This is why you read the stuff, because everyone's on everyone's albums. It's almost annoying. If it wasn't so fascinating, I'd be annoyed. Moving on, this is Happy Jack by The Who. Now, I'll be honest, I'd never even seen this album cover before. It wasn't familiar sounding. However, it has 2 songs on it that I know. It has Boris the Spider, which is pretty much, people credit it with creating, like, the death metal growl or something. It's hilarious. It's a nice little song about a spider. His name is Boris. And the other one that I know on here is called A Quick One While He's Away, which I've only heard a live version of before, and my understanding is that it's about, like, a woman having a quickie with a train conductor while her, like, boyfriend's away or husband's away, one or the other. It's a weird song, but it's pretty hilarious. Once again, I picked up more Joe Walsh. Every time I see him, I have to get him. This one is called Barnstorm. In a beautiful, beautiful condition. It got sort of like this handwritten look to it with the liner. I don't know what the inside is. We just got a plain one, but that's fine. This one, so yeah, always excited to see Joe Walsh. Always pick his stuff up. He's a really nice guy, very funny, wonderful performer, great songwriter. I cannot praise him enough. I love him. This one was kind of strange. It's just Robert Plant, Pictures at 11. I've never heard this album, but I thought it was, Robert Plant, it can't be bad, And I was curious, sort of like, what was he doing, in the 80s after Led Zeppelin? I was just sort of curious. I was like, let's see what that's about. This is called Welcome to the Real World by Mr. Mister. This has both Broken Wings and Carrie, and I was pretty intrigued to see this in real life, because I feel like I don't have a lot of, like, proper rock albums. Like, I have a lot of, like, how can I put this? I have a lot of rock albums, but I feel like I need a little bit heavier stuff. Not that Mr. Mister is necessarily, like, the heaviest thing, but Judas Priest is. So I saw this and I was like, that looks to be in good condition, except for the fact that I need to tape the bottom closed, but we're not going to talk about that. I always have to do a little bit of fixing on this stuff. I mean, it's not like it's new, but I know nothing about this album. I know one song by this band. I know very little about what's going on, but I was intrigued. I was like, for $12, I can learn something about Judas Priest. So I'm looking forward to that, kind of expanding my genres a little bit. This was exciting to find. This is Ted Nugent and the Amboy Dukes, Survival of the Fittest Live. So this is a live album. The interesting thing about this is the fact that it's Ted Nugent with the Amboy Dukes, because the way his career was he was with the Amboy Dukes and then he split away and then, became Ted Nugent proper. You see, he has more clothes on this one than he usually does. I had to. So this is like Ted Nugent's, like, hippie phase. As hippie as he got, this is his hippie phase. So I'm excited to see that, and sort of look into sort of his earlier work a little bit. This I was extremely excited to find Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet. I do not have any Bon Jovi yet, so I'm ecstatic to find this, especially because I was at this record store with my mom, and Bon Jovi is one of her favorite bands. It's like Bon Jovi and the Eagles are like, that's her favorite band. So I was so excited to find this, and I just happened to be with her, so I was able to go like, look, Mom, look. So it has the original sleeve, a nice beautiful red color. Has the band cleaning cars with women. Interesting. I wonder what the thought process was there. I don't even know what my jokes are anymore. Anyway, more Rush. I had bought Rush the last time, I bought Rush this time. This is Rush Hemispheres. I think this is the first Rush album I have that's not a live album. And I don't know, I've heard of some of these songs, but I really don't know any of them, so I am excited. And once again, it's beautiful condition. We got a little bit of wear on the top, but that's really probably just from whomever had it, just, you know, sliding it in and out of his shelf. But very good condition. You know, just really got one of those classic insides where the lyrics are there, and then, you know, have the plain sleeve. I prefer to have the sleeve with all the information, but what are you going to do? What am I supposed to go back in time and tell Rush that they're doing it wrong? So this is another REO Speedwagon album. I don't know which one it is, but it has this interesting design. I guess it's like cow print. I don't really know. I'm going to assume, frankly, that this is their first album. But I'm going to actually open it up and see what it says. Ah, it's stuck. Okay. Yeah, no, that's just REO. So I'm starting to wonder if at this point in time they even had the Speedwagon part, because they might have. I feel like they might have been REO and then REO Speedwagon, but don't quote me on that. I have a lot of random information in here, and sometimes I get it twisted up a little bit. Going back to Ted Nugent, I got a lot of Ted Nugent. I was very excited. Ted Nugent Intensities. That's a clever name. There's a very, very interesting lineup of song titles there. This is closer to where he, you know, he is apart from the Amboy Dukes now, so this is further down the line. As you can see, less clothing. So my previous joke holds up. Pats myself on the back for the factual accuracy. We got another Robert Plant album. This one, you can see me spinning it around, is because I got very confused. I thought it should be like this, but it's actually like this, with his name going up and etc. This is called Shaken and Stirred. Once again, I know exactly nothing about this album, except for that he likes to write, like, type stuff in a font that I can barely read. But that's up to him. That's a choice he made. But excited to see that. I don't know anything about it, so I'd wonder if that one's before or after the previous Robert Plant album that I displayed. I don't know. We'll find out. This one, I keep saying it, but I was so excited to find this one. This Journey, Raised on Radio. This is a later Journey album. This is probably, I'm going to guess and then I'm going to look. I'm going to say 1986, 1987. 1986. I'm good at this for some reason. I was extremely excited to see this because all of my favorite Journey music videos are from this time period. We have just a picture. We have Steve in the middle. We have Neil. We have Jonathan Cain, who's one of my inspirations. I mean, no one can deny that his piano playing has had an impact on just generation upon generation, especially having written Don't Stop Believing, but more importantly to me, writing Faithfully, which I think is much stronger song, but we're not going to get into that. Beautiful, beautiful artwork. Very, very little wear. Absolutely gorgeous. I almost like started screaming when I found this. 'Cause I'm very easily excited. Is one issue, but in this kind of similar art style, almost, we got another. Well, actually, another. It's not really another. We got an Asia album. It's called Alpha. This has Don't Cry on it, and that's pretty much the Asia song that I know off this album. Don't really know anything else. Looking forward to it. I like the eyes on the back. Very kind of like Egyptian, like pharaoh sort of stuff going on there. Very interesting. I like the eagle. I guess that's an eagle. I'm not a bird expert. I'm kind of vaguely a music expert. Maybe. Ted Nugent, again. Little Miss Dangerous. Once again, Ted Nugent playing pretty. Very, very interesting. I don't want to, like, I have so many questions about the back of this, but I also feel like I don't want the answers. I had heard of that album before, but I don't really know anything. I know the title track, like I've heard it before. I feel like that's from around the time he was on Miami Vice, because he was on one episode. He played a villain. I don't really remember much more than that. But yeah, he did a good job. He was a surprisingly good actor. Don't really know what to make of that, but it's the truth. So I got a Kenny Loggins album. It says, I don't know if that's in. Okay, no, it's called High Adventure. I was confused because it said in, and I wasn't. Sometimes I'm very easily confused. So the reason I got this is, there's actually two reasons. Three, actually, now that I'm looking at it. There's a song called Don't Fight It, which has Steve Perry singing on it as well. I gotta try. I've heard bits of before, same as If It's Not What You're Looking For. I had heard these three songs because of this little internet show that came out years ago called Yacht Rock. It's literally just called Yacht Rock, and Kenny Loggins is one of the main characters, and it's not actually Kenny Loggins, it's a guy, dressed up as Kenny Loggins, and it's such a wonderfully stupid show. It's like, oh, it's real stories about how these songs were written is like just complete nonsense. But every now and then there's like a little, like a quarter of an ounce of fact to it, and it's so fun to just kind of to weave through and see what's going on. And it's just it might be an acquired taste, but I think it's hilarious, and honestly that's all I care about. So my favorite band ever, Styx, their breakout album, pretty much, The Grand Illusion, 1977, with how many songs on it? I want to say 7, but I'm probably wrong. No, it's 8. Yeah, okay. I couldn't remember how far they took the 7th thing, because it was released on 7/7/77. There's 8 songs on it. It was their 7th album, and then this was the album that got them. So, I mean, yeah. If it works, can you really argue with it? This did not come with the original poster that came with it, although I already have a copy of it, because I actually own 2 copies of this album already. The reason I picked this up was because I found a lady online who will make album covers into purses, and so I just needed to find a good copy of the album cover for her to make into a purse, so I finally found it. And the vinyl within it will live forever in my record collection, cherished and loved and well-fed and air-conditioned and taken care of, so don't worry about it. My mom picked this one out. Is Paul Simon Still Crazy After All These Years? This is the one that has 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover on it. I was mainly excited about this because it has this sticker on it, which was likely on it when it was first, put out on the shelf, because, it's like featuring these singles. And I like to take those stickers and cut them out, and I actually put them in a little booklet. It was something I saw on TikTok that I really liked. And the good thing is it doesn't mess up the album because that's just on the plastic as opposed to the actual cover. And then you get to take off the plastic, which, you know, is protecting the record cover, but it's not really doing much else, and the sound of it kind of annoys me, so it's like a 2-for-1, you know. It's a good thing I get the sticker and then I get to take off the plastic, you know. The last of the albums I got was, surprise, surprise, another Ted Nugent album. This is Ted Nugent Free For All. I actually have a copy of this already, however, it is scratched all to hell to the point where you really cannot listen to it at all. So I was excited to find this so that I could replace it, my other copy, so I could actually hear what it's supposed to sound like, because I have not been able to do that, you know, before this point in time. So I am very excited. It has someone wrote in it, which I don't mind, you know, Ted Nugent Free, which I'm assuming is blank for, you know, free for all and not indicating that it was $0, because I did not pay $0 for it, so that would be kind of upsetting. But not really. But once again, pretty beautiful art here. Does not look like it really took too much wear and tear, except for the writing on the inside. But overall, I'm hoping, I have not listened to any of these yet from this current haul, I'm hoping that it will be a more than sufficient replacement for my Eaten by Dogs copy of this same album. Now, so that's all the records, but I did also get, if I could pick them up, I got 3 45s. I was there, they were doing a sale. It was like, I think it was 3 for $5. I don't really recall now. But I got Chicago, If You Leave Me Now, with the, I believe the B-side is Together Again. Don't know that song, but I do know If You Leave Me Now. A really nice song, a little calm, for my taste, but not bad at all. Speaking about mellow, I got Barry Manilow, as I Write the Songs, and Could It Be Magic on the back. I like I Write the Songs. I also feel like it's Barry Manilow being a little cocky, considering the fact that he's writing from the point of view of the essence of music. So I think that's it might be a little cocky, but, you know, he also wrote, you know, the jingle for Everything Under the Sun, so, like, I feel like we should give him a pass, but I don't know. The last 45 and the last item on this haul, I was very excited to find. Toto, I'll Be Overused, one of my favorite songs. Has a wonderful music video. Michael McDonald was on it, doing, I feel like he was doing more than just like backing vocals, because he had sort of like a call, there's like a call and response part in the middle. I love Michael McDonald, so I was very excited to find this. And the thing I like about this is the fact that we have like sort of a mini version of, like, I believe that's the album cover, and then we have these little photos of the different members, and, you know, all that stuff. A lot of times when you get the 45s, you get the, like, you know, the classic, you know, whatever, just sleeve that they gave you. But every now and then you find these nice little art ones. I think that's really, really cool. And, this is also, is that one also Columbia? That one isn't, but that one is. So, interesting. But, yeah, so that's the last bit of this haul. As I told you last time, I buy a lot of vinyl. I probably am going to try and take a little break from it so that I can recover financially from these choices. I still haven't put up the last records I just bought because I need to fix like the little holes in the sleeves and stuff. I have to like tape them closed so that they are a bit more functional, some of them. But yeah, that's my haul for today. I hope you enjoyed listening. Sorry that I rambled so much, but also not sorry because this is just my talking pattern. Additionally, I am very excited about music, so I like to talk about the things that I know. Yeah. If you like that, please like, subscribe, comment, tell me what else you want to see. I'm not really sure what I'm doing with this YouTube channel yet. I'm posting a lot of covers whenever I do them. And make sure you check in the description for the links to all my social medias. Additionally, there will be a link down there to find my single. Once again, that single is Wanting You by Haley Ezel on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, allegedly Pandora, from what I've heard. I don't really use Pandora, but apparently it's there. It's everywhere. If you check it out, let me know where you found it, because I am curious. And, you know, tell me what you think. Feel free to go to my website, haleyzel.com, and comment under there. Tell me how your day's going, you know, just do whatever. But I hope you enjoyed this, and I will inevitably, oh, I've been speaking too long. I will inevitably be buying more vinyl in the future. So at some point there will be another haul. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you had a nice day today. And yeah, thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.